If you're wondering whether websites still matter in 2025, take it from me, someone who spends every day in website marketing world. This is the truth. Your website is either building trust or quietly costing you business if you even have one. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why your website still matters, even in a world of social media and AI, and how to know if yours is helping you or hurting you. First, we'll look at why some business owners are ditching websites altogether and why that's risky. Then I'll walk you through the real role a website plays today, especially if you sell high trust services. And finally, I'll give you a quick self-check you can use to see if your site is doing its job. I'm Mitch Metter, and I've been a StoryBrand certified guide for 7 years, and I've helped hundreds of businesses build websites that make millions of dollars. And my experience is that your website can make you millions of dollars as well if it's done right. Let's dig in. The number one thing that I'm hearing from people right now is that AI is changing how people search and how they do business. What I hear when people say that, they're afraid that people are going to use ChatGPT instead of Google, so a traditional SEO won't work anymore. The reality is, I'm a huge fan of AI and use it every day, and search behavior is evolving. Google still processes billions of searches every day, and AI search still pulls from the web, especially from authoritative websites with strong content. So if anything, AI makes good SEO even more valuable. I get on calls on a regular basis where people tell me that I was referred to them by AI. So I think it would be silly to not have a website presence just because you're afraid of AI. And what about businesses that get a lot of their jobs through referrals? This is people who say, I don't need a website because my leads come from word of mouth. I have a good service and people just find me. What's overlooked is that referrals often Google you before even reaching out. A bad or missing site can erode trust even after a glowing recommendation. Another way to look at this is that your website and your internet presence as a whole is word of mouth as well. So when you have testimonials and proof on your website that proves how good your website is, you actually are getting more referrals through the website. Something I see online, but I honestly haven't heard in real life. I see people say that I just use Instagram or TikTok or Facebook because that's where my audience is. I don't actually need a website. They can sign up for all of my offers straight from social media. You know, the whole DM me for more phenomenon. This belief that social media is all you need to attract your audience, it's not taking into account that your social media presence is rented space. A website you own, and it builds long-term credibility, and it houses your evergreen content. TikTok wasn't a thing a couple years ago, but your website, your URL, can last as long as you want it to. It is so common for people to think that a website is just too expensive and doesn't bring the ROI that they need. So they're like, hey, I'm gonna spend thousands of dollars on a website and then it's not gonna do anything. What that belief actually is that you don't see how a website makes money, or you don't know how to use the website to make money. When you know what you're doing, a good website shortens the sales cycle, increases conversion rates, and makes your sales efforts scalable and repeatable. So instead of jumping on a call or talking to a customer that knows nothing about your business, where you have to take from 0 to 100, you already are jumping on a call where they're interested. You're already talking to somebody who's done some research and knows what to do. And in many cases, you can actually collect the payment right on the website. How could a website be too expensive if within weeks you're already paying off what you spent on a website? What about somebody who says, I already have a basic site and that's enough? Well, that belief is essentially, well, done is better than perfect, which I subscribe to in many areas of my life, but not on a website, because a placeholder is often going to be weak or unclear or going to leave a bad impression, which is going to repel or confuse visitors. So if they open your website alongside your competition, Why would they have any reason to stick around if your competition has great information, painting a picture of success, and your website is essentially a business card? And what if websites just feel outdated? Well, nowadays, the internet's all about content and community, funnels, podcasts, Discord. This is the new game, right? All of those things need to point somewhere. And that somewhere should be your website. It is the central hub of your brand, of your marketing plan. It is the foundation. It is the conversion point. Also, let me just say, old people still exist. As a 37-year-old myself, that means I was born in the 1980s. I often feel like the online community culture is just something I don't understand and I don't really dive in the same way as other people. And if you want people who are in my demographic, or 37 is still pretty young, so there's even older people than that, that's where the money is. You need to make sure that you are speaking to them as well. Your website is your digital office space. You own it. It's not like social media where the algorithm owns your reach, the platform owns your content, and your account could get locked or shut down tomorrow. A website gives you control. You control your message, you control the experience, you control where people go next. It's where people land when they're serious and when they want to see if you're legit. And if your website looks like you haven't updated it since 2017, or if it's confusing or hard to navigate, people will bounce. They'll leave, not because your work isn't good, but because your presentation didn't match your promise. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you need a super fancy 30-page website with animation and scrolling effects. You don't need that, but you do need clarity. You do need credibility. Your website should answer 3 basic questions in the first few seconds. What do you offer? Is it for me? And how do I get it? If your site doesn't do that, you're missing out. And if it does, you're ahead of 90% of the internet. And it should also make someone feel like, these are my people. I trust this brand. And that feeling, trust, clarity, professionalism, it doesn't happen by accident. So here's a quick test. Ask yourself, am I proud to send people to my website? Does it reflect the quality of my work? Is it helping me close deals, or is it confusing people? And if you're not confident in those answers, you don't need a new website right away. You need a better strategy for how your site supports your business. I've been building websites for over a decade, and I've seen what happens when you finally get a site that reflects who you are and how you help. And honestly, it's only gotten better with time. It changes how people see your business. It changes how you talk about your business. It gives you confidence, and it gives your prospects clarity. And honestly, it makes everything else easier. Your emails, your ads, your sales conversations, because now your website has done a bulk of the message lift for you. It's already clicking with the client because they've been on your great website. So yes, your website still matters. In fact, I think it matters now more than ever because there is so much going on online that you need that one place that brings it all together. Your website should be clear, credible, and focused on conversion. If your site isn't something you're proud of, or you're not sure if it's working the way it should, that's where I can help. I help business owners clarify their message and launch websites that actually work. And when I say actually work, I mean make money. Whether you want to do it yourself, work with me, or hand it off completely, I've got a way to support you. If you go to thebrandnerd.com, you'll see the various levels of engagement that we can do, whether it's just you want me to help you rewrite it, you want to redesign it, or you want to launch a completely new website. All of that is possible. Just go to thebrandnerd.com and book your call today. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest question you have when it comes to your website? Drop it in the comments, or if it's a bigger question that you want to get an email response from me or a response in a video, you can go to thebrandnerd.com/questions to submit it directly. And hey, if this video helped you, please like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the videos that are coming out. In fact, right now I'm working on a video specifically about the types of websites that you might need. So maybe you need a landing page, maybe you need a huge monstrosity with tons of resources. That video is going to make all of that clear. So please subscribe and don't miss out on that. And if you think you've got this website thing mastered, frankly, I don't know why you're at this part of the video, but I got another strategy for you here. I just did a video on how I actually use YouTube to get leads for my business. And if you want to watch that, that video is available right here.